seeing right here is the 12-inch ceramic non-stick skillet, and with the 12-inch griddle. So you can literally cook on the bottom pan, which is what you see right there, and you can cook on the griddle pan, which is fantastic. So you're cooking twice as fast in a way that you're used to cooking. When you think about some of the best meals you've ever eaten, many of them were cooked on cast iron. They were cooked by your parents, your grandparents, and now you can have that same flavor, that same nostalgia, but you're doing it with non-stick. Chef Shahir Masood is going to give us all the details. Chef, so non-stick cast iron.
Non-stick cast iron. This is ceramic non-stick cookware that also happens to be cast iron. And here's the thing, 12 inches in size, cooktops, induction, whatever you use. Think about why you love cast iron. It gets hot and it stays hot. But why maybe have you been hesitant in the years? You don't know how to take care of it, you gotta season it.
Yeah.
None of that here. This is the best of both worlds. It's real deal cast iron cooking that happens to be ceramic non-stick as well. And if you look at our whole lineup, go on hsn.com. We invented ceramic non-stick cooking. That's actually cast iron. The word love comes up over and over and over again in that cookware. And this is really cool because this is 12 inches with the griddle that I'll use as a lid and a griddle. I'm gonna walk you through.
So good. Now, I will tell you, it's cast iron, so it's got some weight to it, just like you'd expect cast iron to have.
Oh,
so just know that as you're getting there, you do have those double lids you can hold on, or those double handles, so you can hold on very easily.
We love cast iron because you're gonna get the perfect sear of chicken. You're gonna get the perfect, it's already starting as we get heated up here. This is why you love it. But look, nothing is sticking. Nothing ever sticks to this ceramic non-stick cookware. So as I sear my chicken, look at the beautiful color I'm gonna get. This is why we love cast iron. Even heat, it gets hot and stays hot. But because this is 12 inches with some depth, you're gonna sear, you're gonna shallow fry, you're gonna saute, you're gonna bake, you're gonna broil. It's oven safe up to 500, and quite frankly, we've tested it to over 800.
Wow.
But here's the thing also. So just as a 12-inch cast iron non-stick ceramic skillet, it's amazing, right?
Right.
But now you get the second piece that can also act as a griddle, great for French toast and scallops and smash burgers, but also as a lid.
Nice.
So with that lid, I can now poach, I can braise, and this is the thing. If you're adding food, cookware into your collection, it's gotta be versatile enough to do anything. And this does it without the fear. Oh, look at the steak.
Look at that.
Look at the steak.
That's how you want a steak to look.
This glistening Maillard reaction is the magic of cast iron. You're not getting this with steel, you're not getting this with aluminum. But unlike Grandma's cast iron, I can now cook with wine, I could deglaze with stock, and I don't have to worry about the cleanup because this is real non-stick cookware.
Well, why could you not cook with wine with Grandma's cast iron?
Okay, great question. Because Grandma's cast iron, the wine or tomatoes or acidic ingredients would tarnish the cast iron. But this is ceramic non-stick cookware. So I can use tomato, I can use wine, and I'm gonna give it a second and wait till you see me wipe it out clean. That's the magic of ceramic non-stick cast iron. Over here, you don't just get the 12-inch skillet, you get that griddle. That's not just a lid, but it's gonna be your home base for smash burgers and scallops and French toast and pancakes. It's also ceramic, look, non-stick cast iron.
Look at that, they're dancing across the surface. Do you see that?
And we talked about it, Tamara, with the eggs, that we don't have to cook with as much fat because it's non-stick. Now watch this. In Grandma's cast iron, you would never drape cheese because how are you gonna clean that after?
Right.
But this is not Grandma. This is me. And you can use ceramic non-stick cast iron to your advantage. I don't worry about cleanup. That cheese is gonna cascade all over the place and it still won't stick. You get the best of both worlds. Ceramic non-stick with the magic of cast iron.
And this is the thing, I love that because we love non-stick because it's easy to cook, easy to clean, nothing sticks, or anything. But we love cast iron for this reason.
For this reason. And when you think about it, why did Grandma fry chicken or bake cornbread or sear in cast iron? It's all about even heat retention. You must have cast iron in your life. But what you don't need is a pain to clean up. Now, because we've married the idea of ceramic non-stick with cast iron, you'll never fear the cleanup again. And Tamara, if you don't fear the cleanup, you use the cookware. Now look, I'm cooking on high heat, and I'm using white wine and acidic ingredients that in old school cast iron you couldn't use. Here you can. And remember, Tamara, now I can braise because that griddle will act as a lid.
Right.
So now to finish cooking my chicken,
oh, okay.
I can use that lid. Now I can transfer this to the oven, no problem. Or I could braise it.
Look at that.
It seals in the flavor of the stock and the wine. And going back to how I kicked off the hour, I'm not relying on butters and fats. I'm relying on flavor. And because I've got that griddle that also acts as a lid, I'm braising, I'm poaching, I'm steaming, I'm searing, I'm baking, I'm broiling. I'm doing everything and not relying on extra fats.
Let me tell you real quick, we've got it for you in red or in black.
Yeah.
Red is more limited than black. We bring in more of black than anything, okay?
Yep.
So if you want the red, fewer than 400 of these now left in red. I will tell you this.
Look at this.
Grandma's Grandma's cast iron was not nonstick, and it very likely didn't have a lid.
And it definitely didn't have a lid,
It didn't have pour spouts. It didn't have double handles to hold on to. It was very, very heavy. This still has weight, but it's easier for you to use now.
Now check this out. I just did my steaks. I made a sauce. I deglazed. Look at the side of my pan.
Yeah.
This is real cast iron. And this is why the word love comes up over and over again in our reviews of our ceramic nonstick cast iron. The real deal that's actually easy to take care of. It looks as if I've done nothing. Remember,
it really does.
I seared 2 giant ribeyes and made a red wine reduced sauce in this pan.
And you know what? And it's still hot. You took it off the flame.
And it's still hot.
It's still hot because it holds that
Look at my cheeseburgers. The melted cheese doesn't stick. Look at the melted cheese dancing off that griddle. So you're going to use the griddle for those cheeseburgers, French toast, scallops, smash burgers. Great for pancakes. You get even color on the pancakes. And like I said, when you don't fear the cleanup, Tamara, you use the cookware. Look at the bottom of this pan. All that rendered fat from the burgers and the cheese. If I told you I made 4 smash burgers with melted cheese on real cast iron and it looked like this after wiping it, you'd think I'm nuts.
No, no, no. That's it. That's Kitchen HQ.
That's Kitchen HQ.
I'm telling you this.
That's the magic of Kitchen HQ.
Chef, a lot of people are shopping for these. A lot of you are. It is awesome. You probably didn't even know such a thing existed. If you've been looking for something like this and you want it specifically in the red in particular, because that's going to be the one that goes first, hsn.com, or use the QR code right there on your screen and get yours. You're getting both the deeper pan and you're going to get the griddle, which is shallow, that you can cook on top of either one of those.
And the depth of the 12-inch is amazing because you can shallow fry like I'm doing over here in the corner with my crab cakes. You can sear, you can saute. And then with that griddle, you're using it not just as a griddle, but as a lid. Look at these eggs, by the way.
Okay.
So these eggs are really, really cool because they start in a bed of cheese. That's right. They're starting in a bed of Parmesan and mozzarella cheese that I did with my speed grater. And look, I put the lid on to kind of gently poach those eggs. So it is a griddle, but it's also a cast iron lid to use flavor and less fat. Now, I didn't start those eggs, Tamara, in any oils or butters. And look.
This is,
nothing is sticking.
Nothing.
Even cheese and egg doesn't stick. The stickiest foods on earth don't stick. And this is the magic of ceramic non-stick cast iron cooking. It is amazing. And I'm going to cheat over this little bad boy on the corner here. But remember, I'm using all my utensils from Kitchen HQ as well. And they don't scratch. This is ceramic non-stick cookware, so you don't worry about scratching or damaging that cookware. And you mentioned it as you picked it up. It really is heirloom quality cookware. It's built to last. And when you think about everything I'm doing, I'm using the griddle as a little plancha, as we call it in the restaurant world, these shrimp. I'm using the 12-inch for my pork chops. I'm using the 12-inch and the griddle over here to sear and then braise these stunning chicken thighs with the olives and the shallot and the chili. When you don't dread the cleanup, you have fun in the kitchen, you use the cookware.
Do it if you want the red.
This looks good.
Fewer than 350 of those left, and then we have black.
I can do that in the oven as well.
200 left in the red, and then and only 300 left in the black. Let me ask you real quick.
Look at this.
Because we've got it stovetop. You can take it to the oven. Could I take it to the grill?
You could use it on the grill. I know Ty uses his as a pizza stone. So you could use the griddle as a pizza stone. Look at the char I'm getting on my shrimp. And remember, see this char I'm getting on the shrimp?
Yeah.
Do you remember I didn't put any oil on this? So going back to how we kicked off that hour, if you're cutting back on those 1 or 2 tablespoons of oil every single day, you're saving tons of calories from fat. So the joy of ceramic nonstick cast iron cooking isn't just easy cleanup, it's that you're getting this Maillard reaction, this beautiful char without the extra calories from fat, which is what you want.
Absolutely.
And, you know, you still want to have flavor, you still want to have exciting food, but you don't have to have a horrible cleanup in order to get it.
For sure.
Yum, yum, yum,
and
yum,
that's why you're loving these so much. And that's why you get it, because I think those of you who jumped in at the very beginning of the presentation.
Little lemon juice there.
You remember mom's and grandmom's cast iron, and you remember it being kind of corroded a little bit on the side because it had been maybe not taken care of in the best possible way.
Look at the eggs.
Look at that.
The eggs that started in a world of cheese.
And look at the pan.
Now look at my pan.
Yes.
I started that egg with Parmesan, with mozzarella, with, look at this.
Look, wipe it clean. That's it.
Are you kidding?
And it's ready to go. And it doesn't transfer flavors either.
Exactly, because listen, this is real deal cast iron. This is built to last a lifetime, but it's also ceramic non-stick. The reviews are amazing.
Yes.
The word love over and over again.
Let me tell you, last call in the red, okay? And then we've got about 250 left in black, and that speaks volumes.
I'm going to do clams real quick.
Because we bring a lot in black, and they're almost gone.
Oh, and I love the versatility, and again, you're going to hear it over and over again. If I'm asking you to add something to your kitchen where real estate is king, it's got to be multifunctional. It can't be a one-dimensional item. And when you're talking about cast iron, 12 inches in size, with the griddle that also acts as a lid, it's just unbelievable how versatile and how quality it is. Oven safe up to 500.
That's right.
And think about, Tamara, everything I've done. Easy to clean. I've seared, I've poached, I've braised, I've baked.
Yes.
And like all things Kitchen HQ, go to hsn.com. You're going to see videos, recipes. You'll get inspired.
Do it. Red is gone, 200 left in black, and then that one's gone. It's going to take us a minute to get more in, but get yours while you can. And that was 876-135. I'm sorry, 134.